The proportional odds assumption is a core idea behind ordinal logistic regression, and it matters anytime you analyze an ordered endpoint in a clinical trial. If you use symptom severity categories, global impression scales, or ordered patient-reported outcomes, this assumption shapes what your treatment effect estimate really means and whether it is defensible. In practical terms, proportional odds means a predictor has the same effect no matter where you draw the cut point on an ordered outcome. Imagine categories like mild, moderate, and severe. Rather than estimating separate treatment effects for each possible split, an ordinal logistic model works with cumulative comparisons. For example, it looks at the odds of being mild or better versus worse, then mild or moderate versus severe, and so on. The model has different intercepts for the different thresholds, but it uses one treatment slope. That is why you often hear the phrase parallel slopes. A single odds ratio is assumed to apply across every cumulative split of the scale. That matters because it underpins how you summarize benefit. When proportional odds is a reasonable approximation, one odds ratio can describe how treatment shifts patients towards better categories across the whole scale. It also avoids throwing away information by collapsing the endpoint into a binary responder analysis. Clinically, that can be a more coherent summary of change. Analytically, it can be more efficient because you are using the ordering rather than treating categories as unrelated. From a reporting perspective, the risk comes when proportional odds is clearly violated, but results are still presented as a single pooled odds ratio, as though the effect is consistent everywhere on the scale. If treatment has a strong impact at one threshold, but little or no impact at another, a single summary can hide clinically important heterogeneity and misrepresent what is happening in the data. That is why assumption checking is part of credible model-based inference, especially when results are used for decision-making. A good way to understand the model mechanics is to start with cumulative probabilities. With an ordered endpoint, you model the probability of being at or below each boundary, convert those cumulative probabilities into log odds, and then fit those log odds as an intercept for each boundary plus the same predictor slope each time. After fitting, you convert back to cumulative probabilities and then derive category probabilities by taking differences between adjacent cumulative probabilities. In practice, combine formal and informal checks. Many software packages offer a score test that compares the proportional odds model with a more flexible alternative where effects can vary by threshold. Treat the p-value as a prompt, not a verdict. Also fit separate binary logistic regressions at different cut points and compare the treatment odds ratios across those splits. If the estimates are broadly similar, that supports proportionality. If they differ in ways that matter clinically, it suggests the simplification is questionable. Predicted category probabilities by treatment group can also make the pattern easier to interpret. If proportional odds does not look reasonable, you have options that preserve much of the value of the ordered scale. A partial proportional odds approach can allow treatment effects to vary across thresholds while keeping other covariates proportional. You can also review the outcome coding with clinical input, and if justified and pre-planned, combine adjacent categories that are sparse or hard to distinguish. If you need to move away from the ordinal framework, multinomial logistic regression removes the proportional odds assumption, but it typically needs more data and yields multiple effect estimates rather than a single summary. The key point is that proportional odds is a useful simplification when it is roughly true. It is not something to assume by default. Look for evidence it has been checked, and for supporting outputs like predicted category probabilities that make the treatment effect transparent. To learn how Quanticate can support your next trial, email inquiries@quanticate.com or request a consultation through our website. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical insights on clinical trials and modern drug development.